the Roughneck Minute, a Movies by Minute podcast where we go over the movie Starship Troopers 1 minute at a time. I'm one of your hosts, Matthew.
And I'm your other host, Johann.
And we're at minute 56. This minute begins with Ace saying they should all get tattoos and ends with Carmen saying, "You don't look very happy to see me."
Okay.
Exactly the inflection she says too.
Yeah, she says that to the audience.
I'm not happy to see you, Carmen.
Yeah.
At all.
Alright, so before we get into what I said off recording, because I know you probably want to mention that, I want to mention the scene that was cut out.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, we were alluding to this in the last episode, but thank you for waiting till Wednesday to hear it. Here we are, Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday, guys. Hump day.
Yeah. So they go into a bar, like in this deck area, and that's where they see a veteran who's drinking, and then it says there Ace admires his laser cut tattoos.
Okay.
So in this world, that's what it's called.
Ah.
So it is assumed that these things are laser cut tattoos. That's like the name of it. In fact, like the script has it in all capital letters. So that's the thing. The guy's decorated with like 3 pieces of jewelry for some reason. And they mention it that he has 3 pieces of jewelry because Dizzy eyes his skull and crossbone earring.
Yep.
And they ask him like he got his jewelry at Port Joe Smith, Outer Rings, and Dantana. He's like, I got 3 now. You don't see a lot of guys with 3.
Yeah, actually, that actually made me kind of happy just to hear you say that. I didn't hear we don't really discuss that much like cross notes beforehand before we start recording, so it makes me really happy to hear this. This is actually from the book. Okay. Because so as soon as Johnny gets to the drop-off point when they start like shipping out and everything, he starts noticing a lot of troopers with earrings. And he says, "Oh yeah, earring. I didn't think earrings were allowed with your uniform, but these ones seem to be okay. You got an earring with the skull and crossbones, but it wasn't like the Jolly Roger. It was just a skull with bones underneath it, and you kept adding bones and adding bones. Like there was troopers with like 6 bones underneath it." He finds out that that's the amount of drops that you do, and you come back from. You get a new bone for every drop.
Okay.
So the way that he says, I got this one at Port Joe Smith, Dantana, and everything, that's exactly the same thing. That's his jewelry that he got for his drops.
Oh, okay.
Just showing off his drops.
So that's exactly like the book.
Exactly like the book. I'm so happy to put that in there, at least in the script.
Okay. Yeah, so Johnny asks him what's it like, combat. That's what he says. And a veteran says, I guess it's not so bad. I mean, as long as you don't get any on you. It says, get any what on you? And then the veteran says, oh, you'll know when it happens. See you on the bounce. And then so he pays his tab and he leaves at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ace is the one that heads out and he says, I say we all go to the laser parlor and we get cut together. So that whole terminology of like how it's done, like does change the idea of what's it called? Why he says like, hey, let's all get cut together. Kitten says that. But without the context that it's like a laser parlor, a laser cut parlor, or a laser cut tattoo, none of that. It always sounded weird to me that he says, hey, let's get cut together. Because like, that's not how tattoos work.
Yeah, Johann, if we don't know, or if you're not friends with Facebook on Johann, or you don't follow Johann, you don't know that Johann is pretty much covered with tattoos. I am less so, but I do still have tattoos as well too. You don't call it getting cut. Yeah,
because I even talked to my tattoo guy, and I mentioned that. I was like, you remember that line? He's like, yeah. And I was like, does it mean anything to you? And this is a guy that does tattoos, and he's like, no, it doesn't. Because in a body mod community, cutting is a completely different thing than a tattoo.
Yeah, wouldn't that be like more scarification, if anything?
Yeah, depending on what you do, you can do skin removal. It's basically you actually take a scalpel to the skin to do something.
Yeah.
So that's cutting. So it has nothing to do with ink unless you cut and then throw ink on it, which some people do.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because then the ink heals in it and it just becomes this dark thing. But
dark scar looking thing, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a common thing. It's one of those like kind of like a super extreme body mod type thing.
Okay.
Well, cutting is an extreme body mod thing. And I don't mean cutting like the depression type thing. These are people who actually do it to beautify themselves in such a way.
Yeah. You do it with like clean material. You do it with like a professional who knows how to do it. You're not sitting at your computer listening to Ojos Rojos or something like that and being upset about something.
And people think that like I'm on the camp that body modification is completely acceptable and okay in my book. So before anybody thinks like, oh, what you're talking about is gross, think about this. People add silicone or remove parts of their body to beautify themselves through the scalpel. Mm-hmm. How's this any different?
Or like the people who do like veneers and everything, they get their teeth shaved down to a certain point to allow porcelain to be shoved into their mouth. It's the same thing. It just looks more acceptable. Yeah.
So I'm not in a camp that like, oh, my form of body mod is okay and the other one isn't. I'm just saying that people have their own opinion of what they believe beautification is. There are some extremes out in the world. There definitely is. Like right now in the news, there's that lady that made herself try to look like Angelina Jolie and looks absolutely weird. I'm sorry, but
looks like a ghoul.
Yeah, but it's just people have their own opinion of what they believe beauty could be, and they alter it in a certain way. Yeah. I just believe that before I got tattoos and piercings, my body looked like an undecorated Christmas tree.
I like Christmas trees.
Not undecorated.
I like them undecorated too. They're pretty. They smell nice.
I guess. But that was my opinion. Then when I started getting the idea of like how tattoos like change your appearance, then that's kind of where I went. But I'm not incredibly modified where like there's anything on my face. Everything could be hidden in a long sleeve shirt, for interviews, etc. like that. Otherwise, I just have my limits, but it's because I also believe that what I do is my form of beauty. So I like it. But back to the thing, no one ever heard of laser or cutting as a form of a tattoo, and it just made it weird without the context of why he says that. It's like, Kitten, don't you know anything about tattoos? Because it makes me think that he has no idea and this is going to be his first tattoo.
Probably. I mean, all these guys look like they have not gotten quote unquote cut,
Yeah. But maybe it's something that's only available if you're in a service.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
But here's the reason why I think so. Because when you're in the military, you're technically government property. You're not supposed to be getting tattoos or piercings. This is in a station for the military. Mm-hmm. So, it's only available, in my opinion, here.
I suppose. I'm more of along the lines as we just haven't seen anyone who would have tattoos. Like, I mean, we saw Mr. and Mrs. Rico. They're like high class, rich people. Rich people really don't have tattoos that much.
Yeah. Well,
Raschek wouldn't have a tattoo because he's a teacher, even though, awesome teachers have tattoos.
Yeah, but I'm just basing it on the fact of where we finally see one.
Okay.
It's just the fact that when we finally see one, it's on a military facility.
Another thing I'm thinking about too is maybe because everything is regulated in the government as well too, maybe tattoos are also regulated, so you can't get any like on your face. You can't get any on a certain part of body. You can only get it in like your upper arm that's like covered by a t-shirt or something like that,
Yeah, because like one of the things that I've heard, I could be completely wrong about this, but sometimes if people are in like the Marines or the Rangers and they get deployed overseas, they don't get tattoos that say Marine or Rangers, because if you're in your civvies and you're walking around, you don't want to display that you're military. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've heard from some people. Not sure if that's 100% true or if it's kind of like an unwritten law type thing. But because they're facing bugs, it doesn't matter if they have a tattoo that basically says they're trained for airdrop with the death from above.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I don't think a bug's gonna see, their tattoo and be like, oh, wait, or they're gonna see like a person in civvy clothes and be like, wait, that's a civilian, never mind, we're not gonna, chew them up with my mandibles. I'm gonna take a chunk out of this MI, kind of thing.
Yeah, it'd be funny if you see that in the marketplace, like this bug casually walking around testing apples and smelling them. What's this
Squeezing
fruit?
cantaloupes.
Yeah, what's this fruit supposed to smell like? And how do I know it's fresh? Well, sir.
And then it sees, like, its eyes go red as soon as it sees the death from above. He's like, it's like the whole entire, what is it, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like,
Yeah. They
kind of thing.
scream.
Yeah.
But, so that's the context of why he says, let's get cut together. Which makes no sense in our world, but in the cut script, it does.
Yeah, even Rico says, what do I want a tattoo for? Meaning, yeah, he doesn't have any.
Yeah, but in the script, it's weird because Johnny says, what do I want with a scar?
Yeah.
So in this world, it's like they cut and then drop the ink into it.
That's what I was thinking too, because we discussed this off mic a little bit, like how would this tattoo system work? And we'll go into it a little more too when we get to the scene, because it is coming up in the next few minutes. But we can go into it a little bit now, just like, yeah, as soon as, first of all, I thought that it was like one of those subdermal, inks that instead of taking away ink that you usually do with like a tattoo removal system now, it would add the ink. Because that one basically burns the ink away from under the skin.
Yeah, and it looks like it looks like as if it's supposed to work like a printer.
Yeah.
Where it's burning toner into the skin.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even when you look inside, there's lots of military men in there, and some of them without uniform hats.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me think that this might be, and some of them actually have insignias on their shoulders. There's one like directly behind like the green, whatever that is, like that lattice.
I was thinking it was like a bead, like a bead, whatchamacallit? Like a bead door, but not a bead door.
Yeah. But it seems like he has there's someone there with a more extravagant arm insignia. You can barely see it. It doesn't quite look like the ones they have because this one has something on the bottom. I'm trying to go back and forth on the video seeing if it looks similar, but it doesn't. So I wonder if this guy actually has a higher rank and he's in there.
Inside the store?
Yeah.
I actually don't see any tattoo inside the store.
Well, there's a shirtless guy laying down on one of the chairs. I see that.
Oh, okay. Well,
but to the left, you barely see it where someone's about to take a drink, and I see something shine right underneath.
Let me see. Like, what minute are you looking at, or what second?
55:08 to 55.
Oh, okay, I see the guy now.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to take off your shirt to get tattooed sometimes.
No, I mean, but the one that doesn't have his shirt off, like he's just to the left. There's like a slight glimmer, so it makes me think like maybe he was supposed to be a high ranked person because the shirts they have, it does have a button, but it doesn't shine like that button.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe that's why I think like maybe this is acceptable in the military because you can get, well, basically if you're being sent off to theoretically die, you should be allowed to get a tattoo once in your life.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it's okay here.
Yeah, but Johnny actually gets distracted and off mic, right when because what we do, little inside baseball, we like to go over our notes before every episode, watch the minute beforehand, and then start the show. When we decided that we were going to watch the minute beforehand, as soon as we got to this part, I heard Johann, and I'm going to edit this out, say, "Oh my God, I completely forgot about this." in his most sincere tone. It was amazing, and I laughed out loud. I wish I had the mic on at that point, even on my side, just to hear his echo or something. But we hear Carmen yelling for him, Johnny Rico.
Let me see if I can recreate it by rewatching this scene because
all right, here we go.
Ace and Kitten have pretty much the same look on their face as I did when they heard her voice.
They're like, this.
Medic!
Oh, God.
Medic!
I forgot about this.
It was a little more higher pitched, like, oh God,
Medic!
I forgot about this.
Okay, let me try it again.
Yeah, good.
Oh, God.
Medic!
I forgot about this.
There we go, perfect. That was pretty much par for what it was. It just made me laugh so much because, yeah, we get Carmen again. Carmen's back.
And I don't know why, but I totally forgot that she was in this particular minute. But you see Kitten looking at Johnny like, don't look there. And then same with Jake. He's like, you stop. No, don't do it. Come in here with me. And they're just like, ah. And they both look, and it's like, yeah, it's her.
I get it, because, I mean, he's excited. He is excited because he wants to see her for more than one reason.
Yeah.
It's not because, they used to date or anything, or he just, like, misses her or something like that. It's because she's one remnant from BA.
Yeah, but look at the disappointment even in Kitten's face.
Yeah.
The normal, happy dude, he's just like, oh, this is bad.
Well, he's not thinking it that way, though, He's thinking about this girl again.
Yeah. So we can add Kitten to the whole thing of who else hates Carmen.
Yep, Kitten hates Carmen.
Yep.
We actually I noticed at 55:19:55:20 when Johnny is saluting Carmen, because he sees her and he has to salute her because she is a higher rank. She's a lieutenant now, and he's still a private.
Yeah.
But right in the middle of their framing between Carmen and Rico's face, there's that girl again, the one I told you about.
Yeah, I see her.
Yeah, so she was behind the Fed net. She was actually walking out of the tattoo parlor as well, too, with her beer. And now she's right there again, smiling and being happy and everything.
Yeah, because you see her in 54:29. She's walking, she's smiling. Then, I know I kind of tracked it every time she's looked in the camera. At 54:36, she looks back over her camera, and you can see her framed with the mic kind of in her face, looking directly at the camera. And then she shows back up again on that staircase.
Yep. Actually, at 55:25, she's walking away.
It's funny how, like, when we watch it this slow, you start to see those similar extras over and over again.
Yeah. But that's what happens when you watch these things minute by minute, man. It's great. I love it, actually. I've never, noticed that girl ever in any of my previous watchings of Starship, except for, like, right when we started doing this minute.
Yeah. You start to really recognize the recycled extras, but that might be a Verhoeven thing because he does recycle actors as well.
Yeah.
So maybe he likes the look of someone in a particular scene. He's like, okay, you continue that thing.
Yeah. You go up the stairs, you go down here, you're going to be in a couple shots, you're not going to be talking, but we'll give you, $50 and lunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get Rico saluting Carmen. She says at ease, and she's like, I gotta remember that I'm off duty.
Yeah.
To take off the hat when she's off duty.
Well, also remember when she says that, she is in poor uniform.
Yes, her shoulder pip is kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand if some of them are Velcroed because hers are colored, so maybe when you rise in rank, they start to change.
Mm-hmm.
But come on, fix that.
Well, so I think in normal military thing, don't quote me on this because most of my military experience comes from watching Band of Brothers and Generation Kill and everything.
All right, so we're quoting you on this.
Yes, expert on military Matthew Soto, who's only watched TV shows and movies. I think you put you on your own insignias and you put on your own stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you do, but it's just that she did a pretty bad job on it. She didn't layer it down.
Carmen is not a seamstress. I think we can come to this conclusion.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame her and not the costume designer.
Yeah, let's do that.
Carmen, get your together.
Gotta medic that out.
Yeah,
too.
I know, but I had to.
Is this gonna become a We Hate Carmen Minute Part 6?
God, how many minutes do we have of her?
I gotta go back, but I think we're getting close to 10. I think we're at 5 right now. This may be number 6.
The return of the We Hate Carmen Minute.
She goes on to say, "Hi, Diz," and
yep, and there you see Diz giving the exact reaction everybody does to seeing Carmen again.
Yep,
because you see Kitten, he's just like, "What are you gonna say?" Because like we don't like her, and she's like, "Carmen." So Kitten's giving Diz the same exact look everybody's giving Diz at the right moment. What are you going to say to Carmen? She just says, Carmen?
Yeah, nods a little bit. Like, oh yeah, hey.
And Diz is like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Treat her like that.
I love Ace's reaction to her because he's tall and everything. So he leans in and is like, what the hell is she doing here kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they're all in the same group right now. It's just that the We Hate Carmen group.
At least we resent Carmen group. I'm not sure if they're in the We Hate Carmen group yet.
Yeah. But you can see Ace is just in agreement. Like, he's not even giving her any decency at this point. It's like, you haven't addressed me. I have no reason to address you as lieutenant. And now that you took off your hat, you're just a normal.
Yeah, you're just a normal. Well, we get a little... Rico actually does say something to Carmen about her uniform, too. He says, my mother was right about you. You do look good in the uniform. So he gets back to flirting. I mean, I don't think he can stop.
No, I think what Johnny's mom said was, don't do this for that girl.
Yeah.
That's what Johnny really means.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, she's right. I did do this for the girl.
I love her reaction to it, too, because she kind of just hits him in his chest with her hat. Kind of like that playful, like, oh, you. Yeah. You look pretty good. She says, you look pretty good yourself, too. Or something like that. Yeah. Or you look pretty good yourself. And then they get into it because, I mean, Rico is... He's happy, but he's not happy about seeing her. Brings up bad memories, I'm pretty sure. He says, what do you hear? Did you hear about anyone making it out of BA alive?
Yeah, that part's a little bit depressing because, well, because, it brings up a lot of bad things for Johnny about BA. But I think he's just, like, in desperation, just hoping somebody he knew is out. And it sucks that he's asking the wrong person. He
really is. I mean, he has Dizzy, who's also from BA and everything, too. But, I mean, who knows?
No, I mean the fact that she was stationed on the moons of Jupiter.
Yeah.
Like, she was too far away with no communication also, now that I think about it. But, I don't know, probably try and find somebody else. But I think he's just desperate to just see if there's someone he recognizes that left BA.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree on that. Carmen then goes on to say that, she thinks she kind of forgets about it, doesn't think it actually happened to her, but then she realizes it and she can't stop crying.
Yeah. She doesn't cry. Come on.
She turns off
she's
her
like,
emotion meter.
Yeah, she's like, there's so many people I wanted to take advantage of and now they're dead. How could anything worse happen to me?
The South American continent is ruined. I gotta go to North America now to, wreak my havoc.
Yeah.
Rico then says that, at least we made it out, so that's something to be happy about. But then Carmen kind of just says exactly what we're all thinking. You don't look very happy to see me.
Yep. Nobody is.
No, nobody really is. I mean,
why is she not used to that?
Because she's just been on her ship for 2 months now, maybe a month and a half or something like that.
With one guy with one guy that's finally been happy to be around her, and the captain.
Yeah, and she's like, wait, I need my positive reinforcement. Where is it? You're not happy.
Yeah, this is weird.
I will say that Denise Richards does look pretty in this scene.
With her hair tied back a little bit.
I think it's also the eyebrows. She definitely has her eyebrow status on, as the kids call it, fleek. As them youngsters do nowadays.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, she's still the same old kind of harpy Carmen that she is.
Yeah, remember, she's turning it on just a little bit because she's trying to get Johnny to sympathize with her. Don't fall for it, Matt. Don't.
I don't think she...
Don't steer away from those rocks.
I don't think that
steer away from those rocks. Don't listen to that song.
I hear something. Give me some beeswax.
No. Yeah, just don't listen to that song. Steer away from the rocks.
No, honestly, I don't think that she put on her makeup and everything because she knew Johnny Rico was going to be on the station.
Yeah,
I think she's trying to entice maybe other guys besides Xander. But then she saw Rico, she's like, ooh, hello. But that's about it. Do you have anything else you want to talk about this minute at all?
So it's the start of one of the weirdest things about this movie. Not
Oh,
just
here we go.
Carmen, but the soundtrack. It's... I've said it before, it's weird. The orchestrated music is great, but some of the songs that are put in that were done by popular singers, like that, what was that song in the first one in the prom? Yeah, like that one just didn't make sense. But this one, it's Mazzy Star's "Fade Into You," and it's just it starts. But it's within the next minute that it just gets really weird that they chose this song.
Yeah, so Johann and I have been friends for quite some time. I think even before I met my wife, which was probably... We've known each other since like maybe 2005, 2006?
More or less, I think so.
Ever since then, we've talked about Starship Troopers and, our affinity for it, how much we liked it. And no matter what... Every single time he's brought it up, or anytime we've brought it up to friends or family or what have you, this part has come up because he hates this choice of music.
Yeah, I love the song. The song's great.
That's the choice of music for the scene, is what I mean.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely weird that this is the song that they chose for this particular scene or moment.
Well, we'll definitely get into it in the next minute, actually, because it's not even on this minute yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's... wait until Friday for that. Can you hold your tongue until Friday?
I guess.
We'll let you get it out all on Friday, okay?
Alrighty.
And we actually got a surprise for everyone on Friday, too.
Oh, yeah. Smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah, we're going to do smell-o-vision with the laser cut scene. Yeah. It's going to smell wonderful.
Oh, burning flesh. You know what it smells like? You know what burning flesh smells like, mostly?
Bacon.
Bacon. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sizzling bacon.
Sweet. Sweet bacon.
Sweet, 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 sweet. Venus. Yeah, you finally got it.
Yeah, alright.
Alright, where can they find you, Johann?
You guys can find me on Twitch and Instagram at J-D26. You can also find me on Twitter at OMG It's Johann.
And you guys can find me at AltTabMatt pretty much anywhere you can find people on the internet. You can also follow us, the show, at The Roughneck Min on Twitter, M-I-N. You can go to our website, theroughneckminute.podbean.com for any past episodes or show notes. You can also follow us on our Facebook group, The Roughneck Minute Billet, Billet, to continue the conversation and talk about your hatred for Carmen continuing on, as we do. But go ahead and please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher, or any other podcatcher you guys can find us on. But that's going to be it for us, guys. I've been one of your hosts, Matthew.
And I've been your other host, Johann.
And we will see you on the Bounce Troopers.